Dear students, welcome to light lesson of class 8 CBSE. So in that the main part of that lesson is about human eye, its functions and the defects of human eye. So only that thing will be discussing now in this video. So look at the figure given in the slide displayed here. Figure structure of the human eye. So what are the parts present in this human eye? So the same thing you have studied in class 5, but here in 8th standard in detail, you're going to learn each and every part of that and what are the defects of the human eye. Okay, so you can see the parts displayed here. It is starting from cornea, iris, pupil, ciliary muscles, eye lens, blind spot on retina. Then retina is there. Optic nerve, the nerve which is connecting to the brain. Okay, so these are the different parts of human eye. So which part is present outside and bulging outside here is the first part is cornea. Okay, so our eye is shaped like a ball and its shape is a spherical shape. You can make it out. It's a spherical shape and the outer coating is given with white color. Okay, so this outer coating is helping the eye and protecting the eye from the damage. So whatever things are entering, the outside part is protecting the eye. So the front part of the eye is called as cornea. This is the first part. This is called as cornea. So the cornea is made up of a transparent substance. This is made up of a transparent substance. What is the reason? You have learned about what is transparent, what is translucent, what is opaque in your 6th standard, right? So transparent means the completely it is allowing the light to enter through. Translucent means partial transmission. Opaque means do not allow any light to pass through. So cornea should be a type of transparent substance so that the light can enter inside the eye and forming an image. Otherwise the vision is not possible. Okay. So cornea is the first part. This is the front part of the eye and made up of a transparent substance and looking like bulging out. Okay, so this is giving you protection. So what are the functions of cornea? First we'll see that slide, then we'll come back. So here the main functions of cornea are protection of the eye. Okay, so as it is the first part, bulging out, it is giving the protection to the eye from the substances or something which is entering to your eye is blocked by this cornea. The next one is helping in focusing the light by its converging action. Converging means making together. Okay, so if light rays are coming in different directions like this, everything is meeting at one place and this action is called as converging action. Okay, so cornea has got converging action, which is the action for a convex lens. Okay, so converging action, meeting all the rays at one point. Okay, that is converging action. So what are the functions of cornea? Protection of the eye and focusing of the light by its converging action. So which is the next part? We'll move to the diagram again. The next part is iris. So you can see here iris with pupil. So you can see here iris is marked here, iris is marked here, and the center part is called as pupil. So iris and pupil are a combined part. And what are the functions of this? The colored vision is possible because of this part called as iris. The center of the iris, the pupil is located. Okay, so the iris is a colored part and the whole of the iris at the center, which is controlling the amount of light entering to your eye, is called pupil. So example, here I will show you one thing. If this pupil size is this much, for example 1 centimeter, it can allow only that much light. If the iris is expanding or making the size of the pupil to 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter, that much light can be entered to the pupil through the pupil. Okay, so the iris can control the size of the pupil, depends on the dim light or bright light. If any vehicle's headlight is directly entering to your eye, what is the function of iris that time? Iris will reduce the size of the pupil so that only less amount of light entering to your eye is not making the damage. If it is directly entering without the controlling of pupil, what happens? That's the reason when you're facing any bright light, automatically you are having the temptation like closing or reducing the pupil size by the iris. That is an automatic action. Okay, so it is controlling the pupil size depends on the availability of the light. So the bright light means it can reduce the size. In dim light, if you dim light, it will be expanding. So dim light, the pupil size of the pupil is expanding. Then more light can enter inside, making the vision possible. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the object. So dim light, it is helping to expand the pupil, and bright light, it is reducing the size of the pupil, reducing the size of the pupil. Okay, so these are the functions of the iris and pupil. So that the more intensity of light which is coming to your eye is protected with the help of this action of iris. So we have seen iris. I'll show my slide here. What is written about iris? We'll just discuss that also. So it is a part of eye which is located behind the cornea. You can see here, because next after cornea you have this part called as iris. This is giving the color, the colored part of the eye, and the hole at the center is called as pupil. Okay, so once if you are looking through the mirror, the center part of your eye which is appearing dark, that is called as pupil. Okay, so the color of the pupil depends on the melanin color of your eye. So some you might have seen some of your friends or foreigners are having the different colored eye, that you're calling that person green colored person or blue colored. Okay, so that depends on this green color or blue color is the color of their pupil. Okay, the pupil color is determined by the melanin content in their eye. So if the melanin color is light, or if it is less, means they will be having different colored eyes. Okay, so the main function is controlling the amount of light entering the eye by adjusting the size of the pupil. So what is the next one? We'll see eye lens. Okay, so you can see here eye lens. So after cornea, through the pupil, the light is entering and reaching to the lens of your eye called as eye lens. It is in the center, just behind the pupil. Okay, so this eye lens is having the converging action and behaving like a convex. Normally it is a convex lens having all the functions of like converging action of a convex lens, but sometimes there will be some adjustment, depends on the distance of your eye to the object. Okay, so here the eye lens, the position of this eye lens is held with the help of a type of muscles called as ciliary muscles. You can see here this yellow color thing is called as ciliary muscles. Here also you can see here ciliary muscles. So what is the function of the ciliary muscles also we'll be discussing today. So this eye lens is helping to focus the image. So here focus the light and forming the image on the retina. Okay. So this eye lens is adjusted with the help of ciliary muscles, and the ciliary muscles are helping in changing the focal length. Now what is eye lens? It is the location is just behind the pupil, and it is also transparent like cornea and made up of jelly-like material. The main function is allowing the light to pass through, adjusting the position with the help of ciliary muscles, and it can change the focal length. What is focal length? If this is a lens, here you can see here the light is coming here. Light rays are coming here, and this is called as optic center. So optic center means center of the lens. Concave or convex, the center of the lens is called optic center O. So from here, where is the image formed? If the image is formed here, the distance is 5 centimeter, for example. So the distance between O and I, it is called as focal length. The distance between optic center and the image is called as focal length. So the focal length is adjusted with the help of this eye lens and the action of ciliary muscles. Okay, so what is the function of ciliary muscles? I told you the ciliary muscles are having the function of adjusting the eye lens. Depends on where is the object located. So ciliary muscles are having two actions. The first action is tightening or shortening. Tightening or shortening means it is making the eye lens contracts. Okay, contracted. So the contraction or shortening of the eye lens with the help of ciliary muscles, making thickness to the eye lens, thickness. So thickness is the feature of convex lens. Okay, convex lens has thickness in the center. So it is making shortening of the eye lens and giving thickness to the eye lens, that is giving the same action of convex lens converging. This giving converging action, making the light rays to meet together. Okay, so that converging action is helping to see the object which is kept at short distance, which is very close to you. You're able to see by this action. So once again I repeat, the ciliary muscles are getting contracted and giving the thickness to the eye lens and acting the same action of convex lens, and that is converging action, making the things which is very close to you, that is very close to you, not very far. Okay, which is kept very close to you. The objects are visible because of this action. What is the second action? Expansion. The second action is called as expansion of ciliary muscles. Expansion. So expanding means what happens? The thickness is changing to thin lens, the center. It makes thinness at the center of the eye lens. That is giving the same action of concave. Concave is thin at the center. So that is giving diverging action. That is giving diverging action with the objects which is far is able to visible to you because of this action. So the ciliary muscles making the expansion, and that is giving thinness to the lens and acting like a concave lens. Actually, it is a convex lens. Only the cases if you wanted to see the object which is very far, only that time it is acting like a concave lens and giving the diverging action, and it is keeping very far. It is keeping the distance of the object is very far, and what happens here? The objects which is very far you are able to see. So now we have seen the function of eye lens and ciliary muscles. What is the next one? Retina and optic nerves. So where is retina located? You can see here. The eye lens is located here and it is fixed with the help of ciliary muscles with the help of ciliary muscles on both the sides, and behind the eye lens it is connected to the eyeball, and behind that there is a screen called as retina. So for observing a shadow you need a screen. The same way there is a screen in your eyes for making the image formation, that is called as retina. Okay, so the retina is present here, and it is made up of many light sensitive cells, rods and cones. So the retina is the screen made up of light sensitive cells, rods and cones. And you can see optic nerve. This is a nerve connected from the retina to the brain. So the signals what is connected, for example, the image is formed. But to see that image, this information should be passed to the brain with the help of signals. Okay, in the form of signals by the optic nerve, and it is reaching to the brain. The brain is reading that image and you're able to see. So once the image is formed, here it is in the form of inverted image. The image is not upright or erect. The image is inverted. Okay, this inverted image is passing to the information, or it is in the form of electric impulse. It is passing to the brain with the help of optic nerve, and the brain is interpreting this as an erect image. Okay, that's the reason you're not able to see the things. If you are seeing the things in the same form of inverted, the vision is complicated. Okay, so to make it the erect way, the brain is reading or interpreting that inverted image as an erect image. Okay, so what are the functions of retina and optic nerves? So retina is acting like a screen located behind the eye lens. Then it is mainly focusing the image and forming the image and passing the information or the electric impulse with the help of optic nerve to the brain in the form of electric signals. Okay, so the optic nerve is passing the electric signals. That's the reason if any nerve is damaged, there is problem for the vision. Okay, and what are the functions of eyelids? So you have eyelid, that is a protection part of your eye, and it is making the control of entry of light. So if you wanted to enter any light, you can shut out the light with the help of this eyelids. The next is the working of the eye. Same thing is explained here. The eye lens is like a convex lens having converging action and forming a real and inverted image. So actual type of image is real and inverted image. Then retina having light sensitive cells named as rods and cones. Rods and cones. So once the image is formed on retina, it is generating the electric signals to the brain and passing through the optic nerve, and the brain is interpreting this image as an erect image. So real and erect image is identified by the brain. The actual image is real and inverted. That is the difference here. Okay. Next we will see the light sensitive cells which are present here, rods and cones. So retina contains light sensitive cells called as rods and cones. The rods are sensitive to dim light. So to remember, you can just make this as a code, RODIM. Rods are active during dim light. Whenever light is dim or less light is available, the light sensitive cells called as rods are active. Okay. So here dim light, during dim light, the time only rods are active. If it is bright light, the rods are inactive. Okay. So, but here the main problem of rods is it can give only identify the object as black or dark color. The colored vision is not possible with the help of this light sensitive cells called as rods. The next one is cones. The shape of the cell is making this to call as cones. This is sensitive to bright light. So whenever bright light is there, daylight is there, your light sensitive cells called as cones are active. This is giving colored vision. Okay, so the color vision is possible because of this light sensitive cells called as cones and do not function in dim light. Dim light, which sensitive cells are active? Rods. Dim means rod, bright means cones are active. Next, what is this blind spot? You have noticed one thing in your human eye structure which was located on retina called as blind spot. So I'll show you the picture once again to identify which part it is. So can you see here? Where is blind spot located? The blind spot means a place in retina, a place on retina where light sensitive cells are absent, or the place which is devoid of light sensitive cells on retina is called as blind spot. As light sensitive cells are not present, there is no image formation and you cannot see anything if the light is falling on the blind spot. Through the eye lens, the image formation is not possible because the reason is the light sensitive cells are absent in this place of blind spot. Okay, so both the rods and cones are absent and this area is insensitive to light. Insensitive to light and you cannot see anything if the light falls on there. Okay. Next we will go to the defects of the eye. So I have explained all the parts. What are the defects of the eye? For example, sometimes you are not able to see the object which is kept very close to you. Sometimes you are not able to see the object which is far from you. What is the problem of that? Or sometimes the people, your grandma or your grandfather or your parents who are aged, having the problem for vision. What is the defect called? So there are three defects. What are the three defects here? We are going to discuss here. The first one is myopia. The first one is myopia. Okay. And the second type of the defect is called hypermetropia. The second is hypermetropia. Okay. And the third type is cataract. Third type is cataract. That is the people who are aged getting this cataract. So first one is myopia. Other name is short-sightedness. What is the meaning of short-sightedness? The people who are able to see the object which is kept very close to you, that is, are able to see the object which is close. Short sight is possible, but long sight is not possible. Such a case, the defect is named as myopia. The person, if this is a person and this is the object, he is able to see the object. There is no problem for the vision. Okay, he's able to see the object. Now I'm keeping an object very far. This is not possible. Okay, understood? So myopia means short sight is possible, long sight is not possible. So which lens is more active here? If short sight is possible, the convex lens is working properly. The concave is not working properly. Convex lens means converging action is possible. Diverging is not active or not working. So this is called as myopia. Okay. So how can you rectify this problem? The problem can be rectified by using concave lens. Which lens is not working? That lens has to be used here. So concave action is not there means you have to use the spectacles fixed with concave lens. We'll move to the next one. Hypermetropia is the problem of the people who are able to see or able to have long vision or short vision is not possible. If this is a person, the object is very close here. This is not able to see. The object is very far. He is able to see. Okay, so the long vision is possible. Long vision is possible. So the long vision is possible means the person is having active concave lens. The diverging action is working. So he is able to see the object which is very far. Here the convex lens is inactive or the converging action is not happening. That case it is called as hypermetropia. So you have to go with the lens which is not active, that is convex. So the spectacles fixed with the convex lens is suggested for the person who is having hypermetropia. What is next one? The aged people are having the problem with cataract, where the eye lens actually it should be transparent. It should be transparent for the entry of the light rays. But once you are getting aged, the transparent action is changing to an opaque. So not allowing the light ray to pass through, not able to form the image on retina. So the eye lens is completely covered or it is looking like cloudy. That is the reason blurred vision is only possible for a person having the problem of eye problem called as cataract. So how can you rectify this issue? By doing the surgery. So it is one of the eye, or you would have heard about eye operation. What is eye operation? Changing the eye lens. The eye lens which is having this blurred vision or looking like cloudy or opaque, that is replaced with an artificial lens. So who is going for the surgery? What is the thing doing there? Eye lens is replaced with artificial lens, so that the artificial lens is working like the normal eye lens and making the vision possible. So cataract people are having blurred vision because of opaque eye lens. It is rectified with the help of artificial lens. So by this we are finishing this human eye. Here one thing I forgot to tell you. The eye, what is the function of rods and cones in some animals? You would have seen some animals are more active or more vision at night. For example, the owl. The owl is having big eyes or having large cornea. So large cornea means it is making large pupil. Okay, allowing maximum light to enter. So maximum light is able to enter. Okay, and more vision is possible because more number, who is which type of light sensitive cells is active during dim light? Rods dim. So more rod light sensitive cells are present in all and having large cornea, large pupil, maximum entry of light possible. Okay, so whatever animals or whatever birds have having more night vision, the same principle, more light sensitive cells called as rods are active or present. Okay, if more vision is possible during bright light or daylight means cones are active. So this is about the human eye and the defects of the eye. Hope all of you are understood. Thank you.